Hello, I'm Lise-Lotte. Welcome to my garden. As you can see, my greenhouse is behind us. And I wanted to talk a little bit about when we just are given gifts that are so extra special because they are homemade, handmade, and really made with intention. And if you have been following the last few videos, you know that I was out in Nova Scotia for our daughter's wedding, and I did the flowers and so on, and I've done videos about that. And this is something that I was given as a gift from my daughter's new husband's family. And one of the family members had given me this thing. We met for the very first time, and she had made this absolutely, I think, amazing piece of art. And she is from Newfoundland originally, so that's at the far eastern part of Canada, and I'm in the far western part of Canada. And she had taken a photograph, and this is only the second piece of art like this that she's ever made. So I mean, I just feel like, I said to her, I just feel like I could cry that you gave it, like it was just so touching. So I want to show it to you, and I want to show you tell you how it's made. So she took the photograph, and then with a woodworking tool, I don't know all the names of the things, she cut out this wood, and then she used another tool to see that beautiful edging, and then she painted it and put it back together, and it fits so beautifully. But it is just, to me, it is just so touching, like so beautiful, that she would share this and give it to us. And so here it will be on the west coast of Canada until she comes and visits it one day. And yeah, it is really a treasure. And what an introduction to let your art in this way introduce really who you are, right? And I just think it's, yeah, I think it's so beautiful. So I wanted to show you that because I gave them some of my cyanotype cards. And so I guess it was kind of this unexpected gift, is that we each had something that we had made kind of from who we are, to share with our new family members. And so yeah, that was really cool. That was really, really cool. And I'm forever grateful for it, and I look forward to finding a place exactly where I can put it up so I can see it every day. So that was one thing that I wanted to show you, just as a way of thinking about how your creativity can, just like I talk about flowers, saying words that maybe we can't always access or know exactly what to say. I think sometimes the act of making something, and I've never made something like this. It seems like a ton of work, and it seems like a very complicated to me. And so I don't appreciate it from knowing how to make it, but I appreciate, as a person who makes stuff, I appreciate other stuff that people make, and other kinds of art. And yeah, I just love it. I just love it for its simplicity and the colors, and mostly really just the love that comes from that. So anyway, that's a wonderful introduction and way to start a new relationship. So that was wonderful. And then I wanted to show you, so after we had the wedding, and we got a chance to spend Canada Day in Digby, Nova Scotia. And we stayed at a place just outside, and I'm forgetting the name of it, but I will think of it in a second, or I'll put it here. And that was wonderful. And we stayed with our friends who we've known from university, and their sons, and they all had come over from England, where they live. And so they came for the wedding, and then we got to have extra special time. And that's actually one of the gifts that I hadn't anticipated about a wedding like this. I've never been to a destination wedding, although this was not really a destination wedding in that way, because it's it's the groom's family's area that they're from. And so original home. But it was destination for everybody else, because everybody else was coming in from, Ontario and parts of BC and England and Denmark and like all over. And so it was kind of that gift of, you see people, two things. You see people who, you don't normally get a chance to spend that kind of time with. So that part was a gift. And the other part of the gift for that, for me, for me, not anything to do with the wedding really, but was that different parts of our lives, of the girls' lives and so on, all of these different people got to meet. So like my friend from England and my cousin from Denmark, although I have seen each of them on different trips over the years when I've gone, of course they've never met. So they got a chance to meet, and of course they probably felt like, oh, I feel like I already know you, because Lise-Lotte has already talked about you for all these years. So anyway, that was really a fun, kind of unexpected gift that I didn't see that going in. So that was really neat. And I will say, as I sit here in my garden back home, I know that sometimes people think that there's going to be like somebody called it a postpartum for the bride and groom, like after they've done all the organizing, or do they feel that way? And my daughter doesn't feel that way. But I must say, just between you and I feel like there is a little bit of sadness in that all of that is over, that it was, like flowers. They have their moment, they have that part of their life where they're at their peak in their flowerness, whatever, and then it's over, right? And so there's sort of that notion that things are just here for a small amount of time, and then it's kind of ephemeral in that way, if that's the right word, and so I do have a little bit of that, like, oh, I miss these people already, and I don't know when I'm going to see them again. So there is a little bit of that. I will say that's not postpartum depression. That's just like knowing that this time was really special, and we got to have this time together, and that's it. We enjoy it, and I think it's probably always like that. Whether we have friends who live a few streets down, and they come for tea, and you have them over for tea or dinner or whatever, and then we have that moment, and then it's gone, and kind of like the weather too, like you have this wonderful perfect evening where it's still no wind, and it's warm and stuff, no bugs, and you get to enjoy that, and then that's it, it's gone. And so maybe that was a little bit of what I'm feeling. And maybe that's why when one gets a souvenir of a place, like in travel, maybe that's why those things might be important. And so the day after the wedding, which was Canada Day, we had the next 2 days with our friends from England, and that was just fantastic. That was such a treat. And such a treat to get to spend some time with my friends' sons, and they're just wonderful. They're just so wonderful. So we went to this tiny little place called Bear River, and it was kind of funny because my friend's husband is half Swiss, English and Swiss. And so this little place on the tourist, information that I found out was sort of advertised as a little bit of Switzerland. So we were kind of joking with him that it was a little bit of Switzerland, which I've been to Switzerland a few times. Didn't remind me of that, but anyway, that's fine. And the reason that it was that was interesting was that the buildings were all on stilts because it's near where there's huge, I think there might be the biggest tides in the world, through the Bay of Fundy. That all comes in and goes out. I mean, I think in the Bay of Fundy, if I remember correctly from when I was there years and years ago, I think it was like a 9-meter tide, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but it was something incredible and amazing. And so this place was part of that. And there were a lot of little artist places there, and we didn't have time to see all of them. And one day I want to go back and have the time to do that. But we had a lovely lunch, and we enjoyed time together. We went to a couple of galleries, and one of the galleries, I can't show you the second one because I got a couple Christmas gifts there, so I can't share that yet. But because I know that the people that I'm giving them to watch these, so I can't do that. But I can show you this, these were gifts for me actually. And this gallery, I just thought was so beautiful on the outside. I don't know if you know, sometimes when something, it's like, oh, there's something really interesting about this place, and you might not even know why. But you go in and you kind of, are open to see why. And I think it was this vase that caught my eye. And isn't the glaze so beautiful on this? And one of the things that I love about this vase is that can you see how the top is not even? It's just off slightly, and I love that. I think it's so interesting. And so this morning I had the pleasure of, because I'm kind of just taking a little while in this weekend to kind of just do creative things and maybe rest a bit. We've been sort of full on with lots of fun, wonderful flower things, orders and events and all kinds of stuff going on. And sometimes it's just good to have some time to rest. And so part of the rest for me was I just went around and picked some of these flowers and popped them into this little vase, and I'm so happy about it. It just makes me so happy. It's such a very, very simple thing to do that, yeah, it's such a simple thing. The act of just picking a few flowers and placing them in a vase, and then having that memory of going into the shop while the families had ordered their lunch, and then my friend and I, while the food was coming, my friend and I popped next door and had a look through this wonderful gallery. So the other thing that the same potter had made, so this caught my eye in the window, and the other thing that this potter had made are these beautiful birds. Now I love birds, and there's so many birds around here, which I love. This is, I think, very sculptural. I love the color. I'll show you the color, the glaze. I think, isn't that beautiful? And what's neat about it is also a vase. And so at first I thought, oh, I don't know what I think. I like it as a sculpture, but maybe I don't want it as a vase. So here are some sweet peas. Wish you could smell them. And so I've actually cut them. I've cut the stems quite short, and I'm just putting them in almost like, here's the tail for this beautiful bird. And I couldn't decide. There were lots of colors, and I couldn't decide on the colors. But also, I think it's nice when little sculptures have a pal. And so that's why I got the two, because I think that it'll be quite lovely that they have one another going forward on my mantle, and wherever I end up having them, they'll move around, because the stuff always moves around at my house. And it's such a lovely memory of a special time. And yeah, so I just feel like that's kind of where I'm at, that these wonderful not acts of creation, but like these wonderful people who are creating something from nothing, which of course is my very favorite story of all, have put out this beauty in the world. And they didn't know where. Now I don't know if this person knew that she was going to give this away to me or not, or she just made it, and then I don't know that part. But for this potter, who is a designer, and I believe she's also a teacher, and I'll tag her here, she's putting out this beauty in the world, and it goes into a gallery and so on, and she doesn't know where it's going to end up. And I just am really struck by that, particularly of late. that when we put things out in the world, we don't know exactly where they're going to land. And I think whether we are an artist, a creator, potter, we still have the capacity to do that. You know, we still have the capacity to do that in small, kind moments. You know, moments in the grocery store when, you know, somebody is standing and you can tell they're in kind of a huff and they're waiting for the bags, you know, to tear off the bags to get the vegetables or whatever. I often end up just tearing it. You can tell that they're like, because they're in line now. And then I just hand it to them. And it changes the whole thing. And when I was traveling back home, we were at the ferry, and I went into the washroom and I was going to wash my hands, and I didn't realize that there was no hand towel left. And this person came around the corner. I didn't see her. Came around the corner and put 2 hand towels on the thing next to me, and she goes, "Here you go." And she just gave me a nice smile, and off she went. And I've never seen her before in my life. And I just thought, wow. And I went, wow, thanks. And it was just such a simple, beautiful thing. So beauty comes in different ways, and beauty can be something that we see and treasure and will have for years, or it can be something as simple as that, or as the, you know, bags at the grocery store or whatever, that can change somebody's day and land with somebody, because we don't know what we're all going through, right? We don't know what is all going on in people's lives. And those are maybe 2 unrelated thoughts, but somehow today they seem related. So I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know if somebody has given you a gift of something very simple that just kind of, you know, in an instant changed things for you. And I'd love to know if when you go traveling, you know, do you pick something up like this that is a handmade thing that somebody made from their own imagination and through that notion of creativity and so on, to put beauty into the world? And then does it have a memory for you? You know, is it from travel, or is it from friends, or or do you buy gifts for friends when you're away so that you can share that with them? I'd be curious to know in the comments. And I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I wish you peace on your path.